Okay, time for another art stream. Back again. Looking for just the right marker brush. Got some kind of like a progressive techno house on tonight. We might keep it, we might not. We'll see. I like this character because he's kind of like, he's an old man, gray beard, kind of balding. He's not too tall, kind of pot belly. He's not like your average, muscle bound hero. Yet, there's a big surprise, and he's revealing his true form here. The last scene here, they have these two characters fighting. You remember from the previous inking show, and these guys are hardcore superheroes. They're very, very, very powerful. These other superheroes can't like subdue them, and so he comes out and sort of shows his true form. Militia Man is shocked to see this. Maybe even slightly terrified to see it. At this point, the father explains that there's a deeper mission, a bigger mission at hand, and that they have to stop fighting and work together for this larger cause. And that's analogous to what I think about essentially at least the right-wing political spectrum. I mean, it would be, the nature of the left wing is today anyway is really neo-communist. So there's no cooperating with that. That's the opposite of everything natural and good. But I think maybe only God can save them, I guess. I don't know, but these two characters representing two ends of the right-wing spectrum, sort of a kind of a normie Republican, MAGA force guy, and then this kind of unironically fascist far-right character. And just a kind of a side note on that, in one of my group chats with guys in our movement, one of them recently brought up the idea that, like, he started questioning fascism. And when I say fascism, I don't mean what the left says. I mean the actual historical. Even the right uses that wrong. So, like, we have to clarify. What we're talking about is a philosophy created by Giovanni Gentile. Look him up. And then that philosophy was then turned into a political ideology by Mussolini. And it's known, the essential, what's unique about it, I guess, I don't know, unique's the word, but what people know about it is its authoritarian quality, that essentially it leaves everything up to the government. And most people think that's a bad thing. And I don't disagree with that to the extent that if the government is corrupt and evil, of course it's a bad thing. If the government is, enslaving and robbing the citizens, of course that's a bad thing. All of that, so like communism is authoritarian or totalitarian. That's maybe a better word. The way that the American government has behaved is increasingly totalitarian. There's really no freedom. America is only free by name and not in actuality. It's a tax plantation for Israel. But if we go way back to the origins, though, and we learn about the philosophy of Giovanni Gentile, we will know that the true meaning of it is God, family, and nation. And those are just the simple core tenets of nationalism. So it's like, should we stop using the word because people are too stupid to use it correctly? Yeah, let's change for stupid people. That's the way society should operate. Let's simplify everything for stupid people. Yeah, let's all lower our standards so they can understand. Fuck that shit. Fucking retards. Read a fucking book, you goddamn asshole. That's about my attitude on that. So, and I apologize for swearing like that. It was perhaps inappropriate. But I think part of it is I hate commercials and I get angry when commercials are on. So I kind of lost my cool there. Anyway, and so like I'm just so tired of like repeating this over and over, but it just never sinks in. And I don't know really if it can ever be fixed. Like there's just too many people using that term wrong. The left has psyoped that word into oblivion, basically. So let me turn this music down a little bit as well. But if anyone ever wants to talk to me about it, then I would insist that they use totalitarian or authoritarian in place of fascism, because I won't tolerate, changing the definition of words, because that's what the communists did and are doing and continue to do. I won't play along with that. So, but now that all that is out of the way, I'll get back to my friend, and he was saying, like, do we really want the government to have total control? Is that actually in our best interest? And because like there's a lot of the sort of like the fash wave and the kind of the fash memes and the whole thing, we know on the far right that's historically based. If we look at the Civil War in Spain or elsewhere, we know that the fascists were essentially born to stop communism. That's what it was. I think National Socialism's a more complex story, but not entirely different in that regard. But my friend made some really good points on that topic, and we all kind of paused for a bit and sort of thought, like, you know what, you got a point, like, because we were so distrusting of government, just by nature, that we're like, yeah, I mean, people, they're power corrupts, blah blah blah, all that kind of stuff, and like perhaps we can retain the God, family, nation roots of this, but maybe not fascist in terms of like actual ideology and history. Oh shit, my battery's getting low. So my huge speech got interrupted by the phone locking up. It's too bad because that was the best speech I ever made. Anyway, I don't want to bore you. Smaila Khan is here. Oh, Smaila Khan Wali. Oh, very nice to meet you. I don't know if I'm speaking to a male or female. Where are you from? Smaila? Where are you from? So anyway, I'm just going to keep musing in my usual manner here. So the bottom line of what I was trying to convey is simply that, you know, the right-wing distrust of government overrides the desire for so-called fascism. We can't even define that. I mean, we have a definition for it, but it's not agreed upon. The Keyboard Kid. Wow, what a cool name. Great to have you here. So we're rocking out to some progressive house. I'm kind of feeling like it's a bit too loud, though. I think I need to turn it down a little bit more. But not that much. Hope you guys are doing well this evening. Thanks for joining. It's been very interesting because I'm just coming off the tail of a vacation, and I did a lot of streaming over vacation. And since then, like, my numbers are going up and up. I've been putting out more, what do you call them? Shorts, YouTube shorts, little videos. Pretty fun stuff. And so, like, doing a show, which, you know, I have done tons of, that makes sense where you have a show and you've got, you know, special guests on, people who maybe are well known or have their own audiences. And then, you know, I could see getting a lot of views for that. But just me drawing and talking, I can't see getting a lot of views for that. But I have been. So it's pretty cool. I'm really, really pleased that there's something about these art streams that people find enjoyable and valuable, that somehow or other it's worth your time. One thing I really like to do, though, is get sort of audience engagement. I like to, you know, rap with you guys, talk with you guys, see what you're thinking, what's going on, you know, answer questions, all of that good stuff. You know, I feel like that's kind of what this is all about, is community, you know, community building. There's a lot going on in the world, and we're living through it. Yes, sirree, Bob. You were born in one of the most amazing times in history. Yes, sir, you got a front row seat to some of the most amazing events that mankind has yet to see. So it'll be amazing. I don't know how I do know how, but I've kind of gotten past my fear, which is wonderful. That's rooted in my spiritual practice. There's you know, it's not just like, you know, tuning out or some kind of thing like that. Anyway, and I have to say, like, it does feel a bit funny, because, like, if I do start to kind of say, like, you know, here's my perspective, this is why I'm not afraid. I mean, I'm not saying that bad things aren't happening and that there's not cause for fear, but living in fear is a kind of, I don't know what to say. I think fear is literally like the opposite of faith. And it's like an insult to God. Does that make sense? You know, how do people relate to God is a whole other topic. It's quite deep. And I can only share my experience on that, and I'm not sure I really want to get into that topic, because it's pretty, what's the word I'm looking for? Difficult, you know? Oh, we've got another friend joining us here. Nareda Palmer. Welcome. Nareda, that's a really interesting name. Where are you from, Nareda? I'm just trying to figure out the ethnicity of that name. It sounds really cool. I've never heard that before. Anyway, moving on. But yeah, fear. In the film Dune, they say fear is the mind killer. It's like one of those. It's. I feel so cool that I can quote Dune. That's my spirituality, man. No, that's. I mean, I'm just sort of being fun here, but it is. I think cool in the sense that there's a truth to it. There's there's something very powerful to that. By the way, anyone in the audience an artist? Anyone sort of an aspiring artist? It's kind of nice to have other artists around. Sort of talk shop or whatever. Learn about what it is you do, what kind of styles or forms. See what your perspectives are on art. That it's a perspective. There you go. I think perspective versus no, what is it? Perception is what I'm talking about. Perception versus reality. This is a thing that I kind of popped on my radar recently, and it's something I'm very interested in contemplating and thinking more about, specifically in terms of like deception and propaganda and narrative manipulation, these kinds of things that we see and we experience both in our personal lives and on a larger political level. When you're kind of dealing with narcissists in your life, they may create a perception of who they want you to think they are. And then, so long as they've got you in that trap, because especially if you're a normal person, a nice person, a decent person, then you may just kind of, you're very easy to manipulate is essentially what that boils down to. Meanwhile, they're laughing behind your back, calling you delusional. As if the narcissist has the monopoly on reality. But anyway, and I do think that oftentimes one has to sort of blame themselves for falling for things like that in some regard. That we might want to believe in a certain person or a cause or who knows, various things that we're delusional about. Insofar as like we trusted a certain person or a narrative, or we trusted the government, or we trusted the system that like voting is fair. And like I see a lot of people out there still kind of working within this false paradigm that anything is like normal or fair in America. That America's free. It's sad. It's messed up. And I don't blame them. I mean, if you're kind of, that's what they call the Matrix, really, right? We're brought up in it. We're taught to believe in it, and on and on and on. It's tripped out, But you have to know that in the age of information, ignorance is a choice. So beware. You have been warned. It actually can go quite deep, though, in terms of like the sort of delusion of the 3D reality. I mean, that's kind of the level I'm at. Is like, you know, how matter is actually energy at a low vibration. You know, that matter is an illusion from a quantum physics perspective. So there you go. That ties it back to what I was saying about perspective, or again, perception is the perception is reality, that kind of thing. And I think any propagandist would tell you that perception is reality. You know? Why else are they putting so much time and effort into the narrative and stopping people who go against it? You know. So this is kind of fun. This is fun. I like this. I'm happy with the way this image is coming together. Yeah, and so thanks for joining me. If you guys want to share this stream in your social media and your networks, I would greatly appreciate that. That would be awesome sauce. What else is going on? Well, I got a big show Tuesday. I think most of my followers are aware of the news about Jeff Winston passing away. It's not a memorial show, but it will be a fundraiser show for his wife and child. The amazing thing about the show is I have Mark Collette on from Patriotic Alternative in the UK. He is a supporter of Patriot Arts Community, and Patriart, or Paul, the guy who runs Patriot Arts Community, will be on the show. We're going to be doing a regular Tuesday night art stream where we're going to kind of do like a draw off, you know, where he'll draw and I'll draw, and we'll take requests from the audience. And I'm just really excited about it. It'll be a fun new thing, something entertaining for our field, or rather our culture. Magic suspenders, yes. People don't know the power of the suspenders. How we doing, Alan dear? Good to have you here, bro. I just had dinner, so I'm sort of full right now. And I'm not like full, but I just, you know, full enough to be like, I think I need to sit down and draw. You feel like you don't eat all day, and then when you do eat, you eat too much. It's like, shit, that's not how you do it, you know. But that sometimes do be like that. You guys digging this music, or you want me to change it? Somebody requested what I thought was a song the other day, and it was just some weird, it's just like music with somebody naming 80s pop stars or something over it, and I was like, this isn't really a song, this is just kind of weirdness. Anyway, let's see, I'm trying to get a sense of this is like the parameter of the phone here, so what can you see? Yeah. I'm real psyched because I'm going dancing this weekend, and girl that I like just followed me on social media. So most likely I'm going to see her out at the club. And so I'm pretty excited. Woo-hoo. Happy times. I get. So I guess I'm just a kid at heart in that way. Good. So sort of waiting to see if more. Oh, what do we got here? That's blessed. Haha. Yeah, yeah. That's when you got something cool to look forward to like that, you know. Um. Feathers, rather, wings are actually pretty difficult to draw. They're very beautiful and very complex. And I mean, this isn't sort of perfectly anatomically correct or something. Everything in comics is really sort of an abbreviation of reality. Well, there's an interesting concept, an abbreviation of reality. Oh man, I'm getting deep. Stand back. Donald's getting deep. That's looking pretty sweet. Pretty darn sweet. I think that looks pretty darn sweet. What do you think? Pretty good? Anyway. So it looks like I'm getting some more international friends, which I really like. I would love to learn more about the people who are enjoying my channel. So this story kind of lives in my head all day. And like I can't wait to get to the studio and get back to work. And so like I wrote it a long time ago, like a year ago almost, and then I drew out the entire storyboards for it, which one of these days I'll pull that out and kind of go through that. And now I'm in the production stage, so, and this is only the second issue, you know, so like every issue has really, really important events that happen, that reveal the story, that tell the story, unfold the story. And, you know, it's essentially the main character kind of realizing the deception. You know, we're just talking about like perception versus reality, and like how his values as like a Christian nationalist were used against him in a way, and how he transforms into another kind of character. He's kind of, I don't know, it's very interesting because like one man's villain is another man's hero. And, you know, if you, let's put it this way, let's say our country were occupied by a foreign country that was like flooding us with just this hypothetical situation, flooding us. Hey, Robert, welcome back. Let's just imagine that a foreign power had taken over America, was flooding the country with alien foreigners, was stealing all of our tax dollars and giving it away to other corrupt governments and poisoning us through fake train wrecks and various planned bioterrorism, and was and if I can list all the different things that we're actually going through, and then if the people kind of had the power to finally wake up and say, like, there's no political answer to this. There's no political way out of this. Because the system that we so cherished and so believed in is totally infiltrated and completely rigged against us. So what should you do? What should be done? So that's the only thing that can be done. So, I don't know, just a hypothetical question. It's just a question. Anyway, don't be concerned about me, I'm fine. Sure you guys can see this, okay. So that's what happens with Militiaman. Is he's essentially like Superman level powered. He's like very, very, very high powered. And someone who's that powerful has to be psychologically and emotionally manipulated into believing that they're in charge and that they're being looked out for, and that they are the good guy, and that everything's normal, and just follow the plan. And then he comes to discover it's quite the opposite. There's one extremely tragic event that happens to him in the story that triggers him. That's where he snaps. He puts it all together. How do I do this? Let's see. Yeah, that's fine. And he loses his shit. And what happens is because he goes through such a traumatic emotional breakdown, he transforms into another character, like a different version of himself. So, I can't say that there's, I mean, you could say like, a werewolf, Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde, the Hulk, like there's characters that have these transformation narratives, where like something happens and the Hulk specifically, right? Don't make me angry. You wouldn't like me when I'm angry, and then turns into the Hulk. So that's quite exactly what happens. But the thing is, he takes on a truer form, and this guy is the only one that can actually control Militiaman when he gets into his like Hulk form. And how is that? Because he has divine powers. He doesn't have earthly powers, he has divine powers, which are far, far greater, right? And he's guided by love and compassion. He knows the big plan. He kind of knows like God's plan basically, and is trying to keep militiamen on course with it. But something very, 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 very horrible happens to him, and he goes to the dark side. Now that's not the end of the story. So it when the audience sees that, there'll be kind of a like, oh no, that kind of an experience, sort of like Anakin becomes Darth Vader, kind of, oh no. But that's not the whole story, so you gotta hang in there. Barry Official is here. Welcome to my world. Very good to have you. Can I get a Hoya for an edit? I can't, someone asked me that question. Was it you? And I don't understand the question. What is it that you want to edit? I don't. Is this like an inside joke or something? I don't know what that means. Please explain. Oh, you. What are you gonna do? Moving on. I'm digging this music. It's kind of fun. It's not. I wouldn't say that's like quite the house music that I go out to. That's a little more like music sound, or like movie soundtrack house music. It's a little more, I don't know, Terminator or some kind of has that fun like sci-fi movie, you know, being chased through the Matrix by Agent Smith. It's kind of that sort of a fun thing. Anyway, what's shaking here? We got be about here. I tried watching the new Matrix. It was on like one of these channels that I have. I could barely get like 5 minutes into it. I'm like, bleh, it just has the usual. It's just weird. I don't know. I don't want to really waste time talking about it, but you can read that shit so fucking clearly. It's like, oh, here comes the liberal messaging. Here comes the creepy, bizarre stuff that we're supposed to believe. It's normal for men to want to be women. Like that kind of fucking creepy ass shit. Jesus. Fuck off. Anyway, you heard it here first. So, how much should I edit myself? Should I become more like primetime television? Not quite ready for primetime TV? How, should I stop swearing? I don't know. I'm just kind of chilling. Doing my thing here. I'm really enjoying how this is coming out. I mean, I was kind of... Here's the deal. When you do this in pencil, it's pencil, and you can just, and like kind of sculpt it together. Oh, yeah, nice, pretty, I love it. It's great. So, yeah, it's got life, it's got energy, it's buoyant. Then when you use one of these freaking things, it's like carving in stone. And if you chip off a piece and shit, I fucked it up, it's more pressure. There's a lot. So that you have to have a certain kind of a flow going on. I don't know. It comes in time, when you get used to it, sort of get comfortable with it or whatever. Get jiggy with it. Kind of getting jiggy with this music here, guys. So things are going okay-ish with my family visits. Not as bad as I thought it would be. Thank you. Oh man. So what do you think with this war in Israel? World War III or no? What do you think? Uh, Gu Issa is here. Now, was there ever a cooler name than Gu Issa? Fuda! That's what I was gonna say. Dude, you're reading my mind. Alright, let's get down with the big bad sound. I'm gonna shake this shit right up. Forget about it. Alright, good to have you guys here. I want to be part of Comicsgate, but I'm not normie enough. It sucks. Oh, why did I have to turn out this way? Anyway, I'll make it. Don't worry, guys. I got you. I got you, babe. Hopefully it doesn't turn into that. Yeah, praise God. Yeah, believe it or not, I actually know of something like worse than World War III. But I will keep that to myself. Well, you guys are gonna have to wait because I gotta grab something. I'll be back in 10 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Hey, I'm back. And we're back. So, hopefully it doesn't turn into that, yeah. It seems like we're kind of... I don't fucking know. I'm not going to make predictions of something of that nature. One thing I know for sure, though, is that Americans are like, fuck that. Nobody in America is buying it. Nobody. You know, I'm not... I mean, of course, there's always some imbeciles, you know. I think, for me, one of the big, important aspects of this conflict is how important it is that we do not take a side, that we do not kind of get wrapped up in that. Neither of these peoples are our friends. The West is infiltrated with Muslims, and they are here to take over our countries. They're not here for anything else. So, you know, it's just not a good... The whole thing is fucking horrible, you know. And one of the main themes there is that we're living in a Zionist Zog. We're living in a country that is infiltrated by Zionists. So if you do side with the Palestinians, then they can, you know, put you on a list. We're all on lists anyway, so that's like not a big whoop, but they can sort of use that as some kind of like, oh, we're gonna hold that against you because blah blah blah, you know. Things like that can happen. You know, I'm not saying it will or it has to happen or something, but it's certainly within the purview of the current tyranny. You know what I'm saying? That is what is going on. Should I talk politics or not? Maybe I should just talk about something fun instead. You know, like cartoons or something. I don't know, Halloween. What are you guys doing for Halloween? I don't have a... Actually, I'm probably going to be streaming on Halloween. It's a Tuesday, and like I said, I've got this Tuesday show now. So, it's probably going to be a Tuesday madness. This coming Tuesday is going to be the fundraiser for Hireth. It's not exactly what I would call a memorial show. I want to have a proper memorial show with the members of the White Art Collective. You know, all of them have so many stories to tell and memories to share. Let's see, read the comments here. We got Robert Pyle says, yeah, Comicsgate is kind of for people that are kind of in the mainstream comic world. It's not really for us. I'm not against Comicsgate, but it's just not for us. It's the good thing about Comicsgate that I do love and admire, beyond the fact that there's a lot of great artists and great people in there, is that you're guaranteed not to get leftist agenda horseshit. And like, it's where else do you go for that? Like, where else can you go for that? So, you know, that's part of what my whole gig is here. Is like, now you know, I've struggled with this a bit. Is like, should I do an enormously long graphic novel, or should I do like short, what do you call it, web comics, where I can put out a few pages, at least a page a week or something, and like, I mean, I can do more than a page a week, but you know, and then like have like an ongoing story that, you know, people can come to weekly. And I, like, right now that's what I want to do, but I've already started this, and I kind of feel like you should finish what you start, you know what I mean? It's very frustrating because, like, I have the power of prediction, and I'm able, like, the stories that I have in mind, like, they would be very, very relevant for what's coming. But I feel like what my original goal was that I wanted this out by the 2024 election. That in some, you know, way, and this is kind of me fantasizing, but that it would relate to the election in terms of like, be something on the cultural landscape that could perhaps influence people in some way. So there you go. I'll read some comments here. Robert says, I have a poll going on Gab for Halloween if anyone wants to participate. You can go ahead and post your Gab link there if you like, buddy. What's the poll? What's the question of the poll? And time for a commercial to let you know that the meaning of life is shopping, and that if you're not making enough money, you're not a good person. Sorry. Yeah, I'd love to know what your poll is about, bud. That would be nice to know. But my son is going to his buddy's house for their yearly traditional Halloween party. So it's really that's really great to know. It's always good to know. And he's having fun. I want him to have a good childhood. I mean, he's not a child anymore, but good youth. Have very, very good memories and good friends. He's very fortunate. He's got a great bunch of buddies. They're all good guys. When you have kids of your own someday, the kids they hang out with are pretty important in terms of that they're going to have an influence on your kids. So yeah, that's a good thing. He's got a really funny Halloween costume in mind. He's actually going as his best friend. Like he's gonna dress up and like kind of pretend to be his best friend. But it. You'd have to know the guy to get the joke. His buddy or his best friend is like a character. He's like this. He's just a really funny, neat guy. So that's clever. Let's see. Holiday says very important they have friends. Yeah, we all gotta have friends. Robert asks, "What's your favorite Halloween candy?" So that kind of brings back some funny memories. Halloween candy, gosh, there's so many good ones. It's always easier to say the ones that I don't like too. Like. But I'm a chocolate lover. I mean, not in the way that you're thinking, but I like anything that's chocolatey. Any kind of chocolatey candy bars. Not a big fan of like hard candy. I don't hate it, but it's just real. I don't know. It's just, it's just not my thing so much. I kind of hate Tootsie Rolls. I think Tootsie Rolls are gross. I'm sort of like, this is like, it's like plastic chocolate or something, it's just weird. I can never really understand that. I used to love gum, I guess, as a kid, but now I'm kind of like, I don't know. I'm not such a huge candy guy, but as a kid, it's one of those things where you come home and I have a brother and a sister, and they you kind of like put your candy out on the floor, and you count like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. How many did you get? And it's just a funny thing. I like gummy candy, gummy worms the most. Gotta admit, gummy worms are fun. Fun for the whole family. But when I was a kid, there was this sort of toy. It was like a mad scientist laboratory where you could make your own bugs and worms and weird Halloween type creatures, but they were all like edible gummy bear stuff. So I don't know whatever the chemicals are that you pour into these molds, but you at the end you could pull out like a giant centipede and then eat it. It's like, ew, gross, but so funny. I used to like candy that came with cards. Like I don't know if they do that anymore. But you get like some kind of a card that came with it, and it just sort of felt like not a toy, but like you kind of like this cool bonus that you got to it. I can remember when I was very young, I was like a vampire, and I bought these like plastic nails that they fit on each finger, and they're like these long, kind of longish nails that come off, and they look So your hands were like, ah, you know, and have the fake teeth that were put in your mouth, and you're going, thank you, thank you. Or you got the plastic teeth in, you know, and some kind of cool black cape or something. And I thought I was badass, you know. But like through the course of the night, as you're reaching into bowls and taking handfuls out, each one of those nails kind of, I lost one and another and another. So throughout the night, it was like, oh no, I lost another, and I got all upset. I mean, I must have been like 5 or 6 at the time, you know. Thank God I got a lot of candy for my sacrifice, though. So that's the good news. Okay, guys. Bit of a happy ending there. Well, check this out. I was horrified when I heard this, but my mother's mother, my grandma on my mom's side, one day she told us, you know, we were visiting, I don't know, like a holiday dinner or something, maybe with Thanksgiving or something, and she was saying, you know, well, when your mother grew up and your aunts and uncles grew up, every Halloween we would take all their candy and put it in one big bowl, and then every day they would line up and we would give each that one candy every day. And I'm like, wah! Like I was so like, that is the cruelest thing I ever heard. You know, like how could you do such a thing? You know, it's just kind of horrified at that. But that's the way they were in the old days. What else is on here? Can you link the poll? Yes. Robert says, I remember that lab kit, and I think they still make it. Cool. Robert says, Hollandier, it's in the chat. Just a few comments up. I think it hides links in the chat. Yeah, maybe. YouTube. You're on YouTube. So now you know. What about you guys? What are you doing for Halloween? Got anything interesting? Any kind of traditions that you do? Oh man. So yeah, like I said, I'll be doing a stream. My son will be at a party. He's gonna be like totally set. He'll be fine, you know. So, if you try to understand, like he just had his face like slammed into the ground in the last panel. So then you know this scene happens and he looks up, so he's got dirt and mud all over his face. And then he sort of, you know, wipes it off here, and then he takes off. You know. I think it hides. Okay. Oh, damn. So yeah, I'm just really looking forward to Saturday and going dancing. See, like at this particular club, you know, they have, I don't know, during Halloween, every year there's, you know, like people come in these really funny costumes, and the mood is just really good. It's just like a really fun mood. Of course the girls are right on point. They're all like, you know, they got fun costumes, and just the atmosphere, it's unique. I mean, the scene is always pretty fun anyway, you know, just because it's house music, you know, and that's the nature of house music. But it's even better, you know, on Halloween. So like, I can't wait. I'm just super psyched about it. markers are going dry. You always gotta get new markers. There we go. Shit is here. Man, you make comics? Shit. Yes, I do, sir. Great to have you here, shit. It is. I've got to tell you, you are the shit, man. Oh, you know it, man. You know it. Good to have you here, my man. Yeah, dude. I got some. Here, I'll back out a little bit and give you guys a little look at some of the pages. And I mean, it's funny because like I did like a music stream a while ago and pulled a guitar and just goofing around, just noodling around with some ideas, and somebody was like, "Oh my God, you play guitar too?" You know? So yeah, actually, I have a lot going on. Wing it, shiznit. That's right, man. Tell you, man, we're some edgy mofos over here. So back to this page. So thanks for joining me, gang. Just gonna keep on keeping on the only way I know how. Oh yeah, but I kind of made a decision, like I've got to get serious about putting out more music. And I know I've been saying that, I know. You keep saying that, dude. Won't someone please hold me accountable? But it's coming, it's coming. Like I said, I've got some family visiting right now. And, you know, back to work, and I don't know, it's just, it's not like, you know, baking a potato, or you know, you gotta be in a certain kind of a mood. I guess you have to like create the mood, though, you know what I mean? And sometimes it's kind of painful to do that, actually. I know that sounds weird, but like I just don't know how to explain it. And I don't know that that's for every songwriter or whatever, but for me, there's like, you got to get into this headspace, and you have to like surrender to it. And kind of, let's say so there's a certain idea that you have, and I got a ton of ideas. I don't know, I think I'm just making fucking excuses. I gotta get to work on that. One of the, let's say, so what are some of the ideas for the song? So, one of the songs that I have is really, really, really epic, and it would make a good like kind of call to war kind of song. It's very, very, very inspiring, very powerful. And I was writing lyrics already, working on it, but I got kind of the impression like, it's a little too, like slightly on the negative side. I don't want this to be negative. I want this to empower people, you know. It's not, there's just too much negativity out there. And oh gee, I wonder why, you know. There's a lot of fucking garbage going on. But, so I think if you're sending the troops to battle, you can't be like, you know, oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. You know, you have to be more, you know, positive, right? Who was I talking to? Yeah, I was having a conversation with this guy that I know he's been in the military for, fuck, man, more than 30 years. He's an older dude. And we're having a good conversation. and honestly, like I was asking him questions that relate to our cause and like what's to come and these kinds of things, and he was explaining. I asked him for some intel, you know, and he was discreet about it. He just. I probably shouldn't even be saying this actually. Now that I think about it, that's actually not a good idea to say this on air. But I got some information that confirmed my suspicions. Not like, you know, the end of the world is nigh. It's not that, but and you know, just because X doesn't mean Y. It's not like everything's, you know, locked in or something. Where am I going with this? So I guess the bottom line of it was essentially just the idea that your soul is really all you got, and you have to try to think from the perspective that what am I doing to for the health of my soul, because the body is going to die one way or another, you know, sooner or later. So what is it that I should be, you know, it's always like, you know, my bank account, or, you know, how much ammo I have. I don't know, you know, whatever your priorities are. But the real priority is, where am I going after I die? You know, how is my soul evolving? You see what I'm saying? I mean, of course, you know, looking after your children, you know, giving them the things they need or something when you're gone is that's a whole other topic. But that's actually one of the reasons why I'm feeling more positive these days, because it's kind of perspective of like, I'm in the play of life, I'm in the movie of life, and I'm going to be a great actor, you know. And leave the audience cheering when I leave. So let's read what you guys have here. When the inspiration, quote, trance invites you. Okay. Now, Hollandier is a great musician, so listen up. When the inspiration trance invites you, you enter its sphere, and there's no way to know how soon or late it lets you leave again. And you don't even want to leave, you know, like it's timeless when you're in that zone. I guess it's a flow state, they might call it. Wing It says 30 years, question mark? That's 10 years too long, yeah. Well, he's like a career military guy. Wing It says, to Hollandier, Molyneux had a good vid about productivity last week. So is Molyneux back? I mean, I've been hearing more about him. Is he back? I don't know. I guess you guys probably know his mom is Jewish. Did you know that? No. I have to say, like, you know, like, I don't know. I don't want to go down that road. It's very gooey with a G. So what I want to talk about now, in order to overwhelm the commercials, would be that none of us can like stop or control, like, you know, what's going on. We have to sort of think through, like, what can we control. I mean, I don't want to say that we couldn't organize. You know, of course, we all know the dangers of doing that, and we know who's listening to this conversation right now. You know, but that time may come, and might come sooner than we want. But so I'm not saying that we couldn't stop it, but there's obviously challenges to that. You know. But think through, like, what can you do? And you can control your own mind. You can control your own life within certain boundaries, I guess. And so that's kind of the take I'm just having on stuff. Um, so what are you guys talking about? Yeah, it's too seductive to leave prematurely. Talk about the flow state. Robert says, yeah, I heard his mom is part Jewish a long time ago. Um, that's not to say that, like, you should throw everything out that he's done or said, you know, like, there's a lot that he's done, you know. Um, I think when you know things like that, though, you do kind of say, okay, well, maybe I'll reanalyze what's going on here. Like, for example, pardon me, I used to like Frame Game, and then it came out that he's a Jewish lawyer who was part of a de-radicalization program, and through like the State Department. So, here's a guy that like poses as an alt-right, you know, white identity vlogger, but actually he's part of the State Department, working on a de-radicalization program. How about de-radicalizing Antifa or Black Lives Matter? Let's try that, Yeah, they've only burned down how many cities? Uh, Caused how many millions of damage and brutalized how many people and killed how many people? Terrorized the nation? Well, maybe we should de-radicalize them. How about that? I mean, it's a crazy idea, I know. All right. So, I guess I'm just asking too much. Just asking too much. Tells you how badly gay opt the government is, Right. So what else have we got going on? This music's a little too tribal for me. Let me fast forward to that. Hold on. Shut up. Okay. I wonder if anyone who was here from the beginning is still here. Let's see. Robert says, yeah, I heard his mom. Yeah, we already did that. Okay. Sorry. I have to say, like, I don't know, like 2016, 17, 18, those were kind of fun days, It was like when everything was kind of happening. It was really cool. It was really good energy. It was like we believed that we were going to win, Yeah. And then the election got stolen. And the whole thing started to come to an end. So let's see how it goes. A lot of people are like, oh, the left is panicking and that's why they're accelerating. Yeah, maybe, but they're still fucking accelerating, though, I mean, it's not like it's good to... I mean, I know there's the accelerationists out there that kind of believe in that. Do I live in that? I don't know. I don't think so. I mean, I want things to return to normal if there ever was a normal, you know. All right, how long have we been going here, guys? 76 minutes. That's actually not very long. What am I going to do? Should I keep going? What time is it? 8:30. I guess I will. Selfishly, I will continue to draw. I don't really consider this drawing. I consider this inking. And because it's like, it of course is a kind of drawing, but you know, you're drawing over a drawing. And maybe I shouldn't say that because when I do the pencils, I leave them somewhat loose because I know I'm gonna kind of finish it, you know, with the inks. That I'll make decisions when I'm inking that will, you know, finish it up. I don't, so like, whereas like if I were working for say Marvel or DC, I would have to make the pencils like super, super, super detailed, almost as if I'm like inking the pencils, you know, because then when you give it to the inker, he knows exactly what to do. And inkers are not tracers. I don't mean to say that, but they do trace your lines, you know. And I do my own inking, so I don't, you know, I can kind of split up the process between the pencils and the inks, I guess, if that makes any sense to you. I'm gonna turn this down. Um, Kind of not really digging that flow right now. I liked it earlier, but don't sound much on now. All right, what's going on over there? Um, hmm. Excuse me. So, what other Halloween memories can I share? Um, oh, I remember when I was like about 15 or so. It might have been my last Halloween with my buddies, and we, we dressed up really cool. I actually have a photograph from that night. I'm so happy that I have a photograph from that night. And I gotta admit, my makeup job was really really cool. I was just some kind of a creepy monster, but I took my sort of painting skills and just did it on my face so that it looked really cool. My other buddy, my sort of comic book drawing buddy, whom I've talked about on the show, he got one of these really nice. Uh, it's a kind of a Halloween kit that you can make, like, you mix up some kind of concoction and you pour it into molds, and then you create like scars and shit, and then you glue them on your face, and you put fake blood on it, you tear up a shirt and that kind of thing. He looked badass. I mean, it was good. We were at that age, we were super super into like horror comics and sci-fi. I mean, hardcore. It was such a fun time. And so like just we were nerding out like crazy that Halloween. It was fantastic. Um, and then we had another friend who he's the funny one in the group, and he made this hat that was like is like a hat that was a birthday cake with like candles on top, and he got some like Dracula teeth and put some blood on his face and like white makeup or whatever. And then he created this character called Cake Boy, and he had a knife, and he would walk around, Cake Boy, it's fucking, this is kind of dumb, funny shit you do when you're 15 and you're just being silly. Cake Boy. So watch out for Cake Boy on Halloween. If you are out alone and a fog starts to gather and you smell confectioner's sugar in the air, it might be the last thing that you smell because. Okay, boy. So anyway, that was a great, great time, and then when we were sort of done, we went back to Cake Boy's house to give out candy, and we thought, oh, let's do like a fake show with the like I'll pretend that I'm giving out candy and answering the door, and then like Cake Boy will jump out and like throw me down and stab me, because which, oh, we thought that's gonna be hysterical. Well, little kids and mom and dad didn't think that was so funny. So it was like a couple of those, and we're like, maybe we better not do that anymore. But not everyone has that like 15-year-old sense of humor, especially 5-year-olds. But it's all good. It's fine. No trick or treaters were harmed in that situation. What else am I doing here? Give it some dramatic shadows here to kind of make it more punchy. Punchy. Yeah. Perfect word for comics. Because there's a lot of punching. What else are you? Well, he was born in Erie. Where's that? If he is chosen, if he is of the chosen people, he's been clipped. They don't or didn't do that there then. They probably mandate it now. Ew, yeah, I know, that's not pleasant. Let me fast forward the music stuff. Maybe we can put the music back on a little bit. That way it's not so silent. Ireland. Oh, okay. He was born in Ireland, really. Oh boy. So I also met this other girl just yesterday. She actually like friend requested me, which is nice. It's nice when that happens. And turns out she's a poet. That's kind of cool. So we're talking about different kinds of poetry. And the commercial comes on just as we were getting to the juicy part. But no, it'll be over in 10 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. I'll be honest, I haven't really like read poetry in many years. I was very much into it when I was younger. But I don't, like I don't have a favorite poet. I think that's a kind of a weird. I don't know. I just find that sort of odd. I guess. I mean, you can have one, but it doesn't kind of sort of make sense to me. I'm more about like the themes of the poetry and the way in which something is said, I suppose. Certainly, different poets have different styles and stuff, but I've just been out of it for quite a while, so I didn't really have a. I was able to navigate the conversation or whatever it was, I like this and that, But what else? So I'll see if she's at the club on Halloween. That could be fun. Maybe we'll do a poetry reading while we're dancing or something. She's crazy cute too. Crazy. Uh-oh, the music is taking over the podcast. What is happening in this conversation here? Robert says, I remember getting a lollipop one year with a tequila worm in it. Oh my God. And eating it in health class and getting sick while watching Kate's Secret. Do I know Kate's Secret? I don't think I know that. Is that a... okay. Sorry. Yeah, but like... what else was in the lollipop? There's a tequila worm in it, What kind of a neighborhood are you trick-or-treating in? So let's have. I think the music's over. Actually, I'm going to see if I can find another video or something for us. Hold on. It's going on 9:00. Let's try this dude. Yeah, like I don't think that DJs are like these magical, like he's amazing. Oh my God, he's so great. You're not a musician. Okay, I'm sorry, but you're not a musician. I mean, you're doing something musical, and there are better DJs, like good DJs and bad DJs, you know. But it's still mixing, though. You see what I mean? You're like a musical collage artist. That's actually a pretty decent phrase. You know what I'm saying? Like a musical collage artist. You know, and there's nothing wrong with that. I'm just saying, like, I don't know how. Mm, can you make a statement as a DJ? That's an interesting question. Uh, I suppose you can, you know, depending on the music you choose. Um, it's funny, actually, I just sort of think he looks like he's got Popeye arms. But it's forced perspective, of course. Ah. This is a little more my style. Like this just kind of spacey, dreamy. It's kind of nice. No, that's not too bad. That's not too bad. Peyote. Okay, let me see what you're talking about. It's a movie with the mom from Family Ties in it that they made us watch in school. Her stomach blows up in the movie. Oh, that's delightful. Why did they make you watch that? Peyote? Look that up. Robert says it's about bulimia. Oh, okay. All right, so that was a thing back in high school. I remember them talking about bulimia, specifically with girls for some reason. Have you ever heard of a guy who had bulimia? No. Something when you're doing comics is that you can't wait to see what this is going to look like when it's digitally colored, because the colorist knows how to highlight little areas and put little sprinkles of color or light to make it come alive. You know, it's their job basically. That's what they know how to do. It's stuff you can't do inking, you know. So we're wrapping up this page. It's coming together nice. Almost done. Meloon is here. Welcome, Meloon. Is it Meloon or Melon? Melon. There you go. Name a car for an edit. Would somebody explain this to me? What is this edit thing? Like, people are coming on the show and they're saying, give me something to edit. And I'm like, give me a letter to edit or something. A car. How about a Porsche? Edit a Porsche. I don't know. It's like a thing. It's some kind of internet joke that I'm not in on. Okay, so let's go back a little bit here. You guys are talking a whole lot. Oh, bulimia. Anybody tried the new monster cereal, Carmela Creeper? I'd like to. It's green and tastes like caramel apples. That's bizarre. It's really good. I'm eating some now. You madman. Wing It says sounds like it's made for bulimics. Right. Robert says, I think it's even better than Count Chocolate. Get out of town, bro. Nothing can be better than Count Chocolate. Except Frankenberry. But we got Wing It says made by the folks that made Fruit Brute. There you go. Productions, yeah. Hollandier, probably some shorts thing. Balloon, I don't know, I saw people do it, so I wanted to try. Well, I don't do what? That's the point, is I don't know what it means. So I would be very grateful if you could explain, because this is the third time somebody's asked me to do an edit, and I'm like, edit? I'm confused. Anyway, here we are. Once again, with the Renegade Master. Back again with the Renegade Master. guys can see what I'm doing here. Winged says, I always thought Luke Skywalker's blue milk was left over from Boo Berry. You know, I didn't see that Star Wars, whatever that one's called, the one where he like throws the lightsaber over his shoulder. I remember him saying that that's like he totally disagreed with that. He's like Luke Sky would never do that. He would never do that. Like that's whoever wrote that is completely off the mark. That's not how that wouldn't happen, you know. And I'm like, thank you, I appreciate that. All right, we got a lot going on here today. Let me turn this down a hair. So we're gonna get down to business over here. Check if we got new info here. They ain't pushing Fruit Brute anymore. Offensive. I don't know. Oh, Fruit Brute. Okay. You know, I'll tell you what. I have to. It's kind of a curious thing here. Maybe I'll zoom out so you can see how I do this. Hold on. Oops. So I'm making speed lines, but they have to be in perspective to give the illusion that he's coming out into space. So let's I'm gonna line it up. You have to have a vanishing point, so it'll be somewhere around there, which is probably off screen for you. And then I line it up. Yeah, that's it. That's it. And then you get these lines out like that. The key is to always have the same vanishing point. So you gotta pinch down the corner of the ruler, and then whoop, and scoop. And then in the end, it'll all come together. It'll look cool. It's a thing, like the Japanese are very good with speed lines and like manga and stuff like that. But I very, very, very much don't want to look like manga. That's kind of a thing with me. I don't want to. This is American comics. You know what I'm talking about? You know what I mean? Jelly bean. Away we go. So my last video, which was yesterday, I got 83 views on that. In 2 days, I should say, 48 hours. It was a lot. It's pretty good for me. I mean, for what I'm doing here, that's pretty much, it's pretty good. So it kind of demonstrates that the channel's growing, which is good. The main thing again is going to be that the channel is I'm gonna do that, what do you call it, the drawing requests, live drawing hour with Patriot Art from the UK, and we're gonna take requests, and it's gonna be a fun show, you know. And it just gives our people something cool to do, something fun to look forward to. And I'm sure that there'll be some times where I either give away art or I sell art. Um, I talked about this a little bit recently. It kind of depends. I haven't actually thought that through entirely quite yet. So we'll get there. You see how this is coming together, you know? Someone is here. Nice art. Thank you. And I'm glad to have you here, bud. I take a second to say hello to some new people here. Um, Obenard is here. Great to have you. Wow. Trumpien. Trumpien. That's probably French, I guess. I love you. I love you too. God bless you. And 10 generations of your children. All right, let's do this. Fun times. Give you guys a look at the page more. Pretty cool. Oh boy, I gotta learn French. I kind of screwed up by doing that. I should have moved the page. See if I can get it back to where it belongs. Yeah. Yeah, we're good. We're back. And we're back. I'm kind of speaking quietly here. Can you guys hear me? I'm whispering. I notice that when I whisper, people listen more closely. So yeah, other Halloween stories that I might have. Can't say I really have anything terribly exciting, to be honest. I was, into horror movies and horror comics and stuff as a kid. I like horror comics more than horror movies. I find it's really hard to find good horror movies. I feel like most of them are schlock and like tacky and just unintelligent, not funny, and or not funny, not scary. I think for my money, like Silence of the Lambs was when it had some very scary moments in it. Isn't it? I always find it weird how like people want to be scared. Like why would you want to feel that way? Why would you want to be scared? Doesn't that seem odd? But it's a thrill. There's some kind of a thrill to it. This is the tedious part of comics, guys. This is the unglamorous part. Hope you can bear with me. Hope this is not boring too much. Only a little boring. That's why I got some fun tunes on. So you can tune out. Maybe I should make bad jokes, tacky dad jokes part of the show. What do you think? Can I get a yay or a nay on that one? Dad jokes, yay or nay? I actually tried out dad jokes flirting with a girl once, and they worked really, really well. Yeah, believe it. I guess it's probably because it's self-effacing, you know what I mean? It's it means you're not kind of taking yourself so seriously that you can be silly or goofy. I guess. I don't know. Or maybe just the jokes were funny. I don't know. Oh, yes. Almost done with this. Very tedious work. But don't ever say I didn't try. Okay, guys? Woohoo! It's more fun when you're not alone, basically. So, I'm going to check the chat in just a second. Gonna wrap this up. Wrap it up. Wrap it up, fam. So, for the new folks that came, how did you find this channel? Was it through my shorts? Uh, did you find me on Twitter? Did you find me on Instagram? Where did you find me? Did a little angel tell you? How did you know? All right, so that gives a sense of speed and flying. Could maybe, I feel like I sort of feel compelled to, and maybe not, I'll probably screw that up. Anyway, so I'm kind of feeling like this page is done because there's going to be a lot of word balloons in here, so there's no point in going nuts on the backgrounds. Let's see what time it is. It's like 9 o'clock, my dudes. Let's look at the comments. Wingit says, all that new sequel trilogy, J.J. Abrams crap doesn't exist for me. Okay, that's agreeable. Jay Lewis is here. Welcome, Jay. Awesome. Good to have you back. When is the Patriarch show? On this Tuesday is the first one. However, that show is dedicated to Jeff Winston. It is a fundraiser for Hyrith and his... I don't honestly know if Hyrith and Jeff are married, but they had a child, and it's for them. So it's going to be like a memorial show. We're having Mark Collette on the show, which is a pretty huge deal. So he's helping out with fundraising. We'll do memories of Jeff, his music, his contributions through the White Art Collective. I'm going to have another memorial show with members of the White Art Collective, though. I haven't announced that yet because we're trying to make schedules match from all of our locations. Go for it. My channel's here. Go for it. Oh, with the dad jokes? Pyle says, I like old Spanish horror movies myself. I'll have to look that up. They're very atmospheric. Very cool. I like that. My channel says, is the give, send, go set up? I'm sorry, not yet. It's still coming. Oh my God, I'm getting a lot of love from Openard. I hope Openard is a girl. Well, my friends, my dear friends, ladies and gentlemen, this will be La Papa jokes. Okay, cool. But I think we're going to have to wrap it up here, gang. I've got some family staying over this weekend, and they just came back in, so I have to run upstairs and, hi, be a good person. So I love you all. Thanks for coming. Share the link. Keep on rocking in the free world. Okay, take it easy. Love you all. Thanks for streaming. Glorious wings and suspenders. Yes, the power of the suspenders. Pape look complete. Bravo. Thanks, man. I've been listening. Very relaxing. Cool beans. Happy to hear that. Hit the fire button, everyone. Yeah, cool. All right, you guys rock, man. Thanks so much for coming. We'll see you probably tomorrow night. Okay. Keep on rocking. Pepe forever.